All right, everybody, it is Chris.
And Jen.
And we are coming to you from our La Quinta hotel room in Fruita, Colorado, because we've left Las Vegas. If you watch the other video, I'm not sure if you'll see this one first or the other one first, but we're literally doing two videos sitting in the same place. Now, our other video is a review of our new favorite
Cirque du Soleil
show in Vegas called Mad Apple. But this video is entirely different because while we were in Las Vegas, something occurred to me, and you may or may not disagree with this, but
may not agree.
You may or may not agree with this. Listen to her, not me. But something occurred to me while we were just walking around Las Vegas doing our thing that I think Las Vegas is a great place for couples. It's really a great place for anybody, but it is probably not a great place for a romantic getaway. And before you get mad and start disagreeing with you, let me explain.
But yeah, we love going there.
And yet love going there. We honestly, I am so bummed out right now. We are in Colorado. I want to be in Vegas. We didn't want to leave. I was literally woke up this morning, which is Saturday morning, and said, Jenny, can we book another day? We'll drive straight through home on Sunday. Let's just do it. And Jenny's like, oh man, probably not, because Jenny's got to be back to work on Monday. Being I'm a house husband, I don't have to be back to work on Monday. And I would have driven straight through, but we had to leave like really early in the morning on Sunday.
Well,
and we
always
actually
the issue with Glenwood Canyon.
And there's always, there's a place on the way home that if it rains, it floods and it's not good. And so I really wanted to stay. We were really bummed. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I am ready to leave Vegas. I'm ready to leave Las Vegas, but I'm literally ready to get back as soon as we go. But in this case, I wasn't ready to go. I'm not ready to go home, but we kind of have to. So let's talk about why Vegas isn't probably the best location for a romantic holiday. And we're going to do this by talking about the people we saw. Vegas is back. Vegas survived COVID. I had my doubts, but thinking about
so many people,
it was absolutely
I couldn't even
packed.
get my coffee this morning.
You could not even get your coffee this morning because the lines at Starbucks and everywhere else were so long, and Jenny was useless keeping me company for the longest time. Anyway, so
because it was a long drive and I get sleepy in the car.
I know you get sleepy in the car, but come on, help me out.
I didn't get my coffee.
I know, I'm sorry. That's actually my fault.
My
job is to be sure she gets coffee and food, and I didn't either.
I got lightheaded.
Yes, yeah, Jenny.
It was just not a good morning, so I had to sleep.
Yeah, if Jenny got lost in the woods, she would die in 3 hours because she didn't have food and water, and it's just the way it goes. But anyway, let's talk about the people we saw in Vegas. The first one was there were a ton of families, and I do mean a ton. I don't want to see the majority of the people we saw there were family groups, but a lot of families. And there were anything from, we saw some baby mooners, and like that, the baby mooner was the first thing. Do you remember that lady I'm talking about who she's just walking around and
she looked miserable.
She looked absolutely miserable. I mean, so honestly, I can understand the concept of a baby moon. We never did that, but not romantic on a baby moon. I'm sorry, I just don't see that as a romantic thing. And then we saw other families, anywhere from mom and dad and a couple of kids, from literally family units.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of kids. And I do mean not only were mom and dad, but it was mom, dad, brother, sister, and all their kids. I can remember, I don't know if you remember that group, but we were kind of in New York, up by the arcade. And there was literally a wall that's like 50 or 60 feet long, and it was lined with one entire family. And I mean, adults, and I mean, kids were running around. There was hard to say, but this was probably a family group of probably up to like 50 people. Do you remember that? Do you remember that group? And so honestly, if unless the parents are like, okay, you take the kids tonight and we'll take the kids tomorrow. I mean, I don't even see how that's going to be romantic anyway, because if your kids, pounding on the door, I want to be with mommy and daddy, and, you're trying to have some alone time, I don't see that as being romantic. And what other kind of groups did we see? I mean, when you think of like the groups of people there, what do you think of?
Well, you know, the couple that hooked up, you know.
Oh yes, okay. So if your idea of romance is meeting,
There's always the hookup.
yeah, there's always the hookup. If your idea of romance is meeting somebody and hooking up with them like right then, Vegas is probably your place if that's your idea of romance. I'm going to let Jenny tell the story. I have a tendency to do a lot of the talking, but quite honestly, she needs to do more talking. Well, not needs to do more talking, but I like it when she talks.
I interject.
You do interject, but okay. Tell the story of the couple we saw in the pool at the Mandalay Bay.
Well, so they were, it was kind of interesting seeing the progression of it because they were in the pool and they were like talking and they were just getting to know each other, and then as they were talking more and it was like maybe an hour goes by, they start getting a little bit closer and they're talking, and then they're getting a little closer, and then all of a sudden her hand is on his thigh.
Yes, she literally says, and this woman is like 3 or 4 feet behind me. She goes, "Ooh, you have very nice thighs. I like my hand on your thigh." And the guy goes, "I like your hand on my thigh."
And it was shortly after that they started making out.
Yes.
And it just got weird.
Yes, she was straddling him in the pool, making out with him.
And so yeah, then we're in the pool kind of next to them, and we're just like, okay, so we're just like paying attention to each other.
Yes,
enjoying
we're
each
having
other.
a very adult conversation. I mean, Jenny and I have been married for 29 years next week. So honestly, we don't need to do that. But these guys did not care. Now, a little bit of a background on where we were. We were actually in the adult pool area of the Mandalay Bay.
It is quieter.
It is quieter. It is actually meant for probably more adult things like that. But it was really shocking to see literally go from, "Hi, my name is, and your name is, now let's go back to the room." And here's the funny part. So at one point we're up in the area where there's cabanas. And this guy is with several other men. And they get into the cabana, and according to him, they get into the cabana and they go to sleep. And so at one point, they get up and leave the little pool area we were in, and all of his buddies leave the cabana, and him and this woman that he just met are in there by themselves. And it's like, oh boy.
And then all of a sudden, then they just kind of leave together. So we're like,
And it's like, yeah, they leave
connecting the
together,
dots.
and it was like, did they just they just met, and did they just I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So if that is your idea of romance, go for it. That's your place.
I
But
think the other thing too is we always do a lot of walking. There's so many things to do. So by the time we get back,
Jenny,
what?
you're skipping ahead.
You wanted me to talk, didn't you?
Yes, I did, but you're skipping ahead. Okay, so forget about that part. The next kind of people we have in Las
You
Vegas.
can edit that out.
No, I'm not going to edit that out because it's funny. So the next type of people you see are the partiers. In other words, the bachelor and bachelorette parties. And if you're going there to have a bachelor and bachelorette party, the person you're getting married to is not there, hopefully, but you are there to do what activity?
Get drunk.
Get drunk. And we made another video about our favorite little lounge to go to called the Rhythm and Riffs Lounge.
Do you need me to do your speaking for you?
Rhythm and Riff.
Rhythm.
Okay, say it.
Rhythm and Riffs.
Right, lounge.
And then say Cirque du Soleil.
No, I'm not going to. Cirque du
Soleil.
Soleil.
Kind of like what we had to do with
Okay.
Faith when she was little.
Yeah, that's another story. But we were watching our little lounge acts, and there were so many parties going in and out that were just for bachelor and bachelorette parties, and they were drunk. I mean, drunk. And again, I am not a drinker, so I've never tried to have a romantic moment with Jennifer drunk, but my understanding is it really doesn't work. And quite honestly, in the modern world, if you go to Vegas, get drunk, and you hook up with another drunk person, that's not called a hookup, that's called assault. So again, it may happen, but again, that's not romantic. You're going to wake up in the morning with a person that you go, "I don't know you. How did you get in my room and what happened?" So again, not my idea of romance. And if you're there for a bachelor and bachelorette party, you're there to get drunk and not there for romance. That's just it. If romance happens, it's a hookup, and it may not be healthy for either party involved. Now, to get back to what Jenny skipped ahead to, our opinion of why Las Vegas is not a great spot for a romantic getaway for a mature couple like us who have been together for a very long time. And Jenny alluded to it very well. And so I'm not gonna edit that part out because I think it was funny.
So I was saying.
As you were saying, now you can go.
It's okay. Anyway, as I was saying, we do a lot of walking.
Mm-hmm.
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 Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's hot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which, again, we went in July.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't, we stayed inside most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. In the air conditioning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, there's just a lot of walking, a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
We were out most of the day, all day.
Mm-hmm.
And we get back to the room, we're just exhausted.
Exactly. Can I not talk now? Okay.
Right.
And that is the reason Las Vegas is not a great place for a romantic getaway for couples, is you do so much, you might drink a little bit. And here's the thing about Jenny. She is a very, very light drinker. She literally had a rum and coke and was out. I mean, done. She gets back to the room, literally gets to the bed and literally falls on her face.
It was after midnight.
It was after midnight, and she fell on her face and started snoring. And I mean, there's not a get comfortable. It is, she starts snoring. And I mean, in the morning, it is my responsibility. She gets food and coffee, otherwise she's useless for the day.
You failed this morning.
And I failed this morning, but literally it's like I'm sitting there going, hey Jen, you want to get up and get some breakfast and get some coffee? And she's always like, and then eventually she goes, oh, wait, coffee, food. And very funny, what did you find out WTF means on this trip?
Where's the food?
Where's the food? It doesn't mean it means where's the food.
Fudge.
Yes, fudge.
But
Okay,
fudge.
so, and that is why, if you're a couple, quite honestly, if you want to have a romantic weekend in Vegas, get room service, don't leave the room. Don't see any shows, don't go drinking, don't go to the pool because it's hot. Don't do anything. Because you will be exhausted at the end of
And then we
every
were full
single
of
day.
sunscreen.
And we were full of sunscreen, and you want to just, and you had a
Feel
big meal,
gross.
and you feel gross, you feel bloated. So the last thing in the world on your mind is being romantic. So, our recommendation, if you're gonna go, get the
We had
romance.
so much fun.
But we had so much fun as a couple. It's a great place for couple, but just not romantic couple stuff. It's just
So we're
not
past
gonna be
that.
there. No, we're not past that phase, but it's almost like you got to write it in. Okay, it's like we're gonna stay in the room from this period of time to this period of time, and then we'll go have fun after we have fun. But so if you are a couple and you want a romantic weekend, either go to Vegas and schedule it, or go somewhere else besides Vegas to have it, then go to Vegas because you're gonna have so much fun as a couple. We love it. We cannot recommend going to Vegas enough. So
we're going back in October.
We're going back in October, but it's not gonna be the same because why?
We're taking my parents back.
We're taking her parents back, which will be
Which
another.
is a lot of fun.
Which is a lot of fun too. It was, yeah. So anyway, for now, my name is Chris.
I'm Jen, and we will see you next time.
We will see you next time, which I'm not sure when is, okay?
Well, probably September when we go to Seattle.
That is true. We're going to Seattle next trip, so we will see you
In Seattle.
in Seattle.
Bye.
I thought you said you weren't going to say bye.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So just ignore that.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. That was terrible.
That was terrible. You used car salesman.
Hey, I got a deal for you. All right, see you next time. I'm not editing that part out.
Okay.